A disaster, man. A disaster, man. The one that you have no family to call. And if you do call them, they just look bad, right, man. Family would just ride by you. Sleeping in porta johns, you know, 'cause you're cold, sleeping on a cold floor.
Stanley Watson had gotten used to being alone and without a home. It started when he was a young boy and his father abandoned him, his mom, and his sister.
It was tough growing up on your own when you had no father figure to help you, to mold you and take you to the place you need to go. My mama did the best she could.
His mom struggled to support him and his sister and sent them to live with their grandfather. But he was a hard man and Stanley felt even more unloved. But that changed one day when the music he heard from a nearby church drew him in to visit one Sunday.
They were showing me love, and I wasn't used to that type of love. Somebody telling you that they love you every time you see you. I love you, glad you came.
He went to the church for several years, but once he went back to live with his mother, Stanley started hanging out with a different crowd. He began to gamble and have sex. Not prepared for the consequences, he got his girlfriend pregnant.
I never had a dad to sit down and say, I want to tell you about sex. I had children at the age of 15. I had 2 kids by the time I turned 16. And then I had 3 kids by the time I turned 18.
Stanley wanted to provide for his children and dropped out of school to work odd jobs. One day, a man approached him with a way to make quick money.
When he came back with the drugs, you know, I felt like I was pressured. You know, like maybe he's gonna hurt me or something if I don't. I was selling it, and then I started smoking weed. And I started to do crack cocaine.
He sold crack cocaine for years, but smoked up most of his profits. Eventually, Stanley ended up on the streets, in and out of homeless shelters.
I'm there for the 45 days, and I'm thinking I'm getting better. I'm working temp services and get to the place and make some money and go smoke some crack and then go back to the homeless shelter.
He wanted to get off the streets and the drugs. Stanley thought a relationship with a woman might give him the love he craved and help him break his addiction.
It's almost like the woman was the antidote for me to get off it. And I'm thinking this woman care about me, she likes me, she cooks for me, she like what I do, this and that, and then things don't go her way. No, I'm back on the street again. So now I'm back to square one.
With each failed relationship, he ended up back on drugs. When he could, he went to church, holding on to the hope that God still loved him.
I kept speaking to that it's something better than this for me. This ain't my life. It's not over for me.
A Christian friend saw his need and helped him get an apartment. With a place to call home, Stanley began to think back over his life.
Killing myself slowly. The drugs, the running to women, trying to find love in different places, thinking I'm trying to get the love here, being with different people. And I was fighting, I was fighting me. That's pretty much, I was my worst enemy. I was fighting me.
Stanley was finally ready to be honest with the Lord and with himself.
I need you right now. I need you. Come right now.
I just surrender. I can't take it no more. I surrender all to you. Say, Lord, I depend on you. I'm reading your word. I depend on you to help me. I'm counting on you to get me out of this. And when I surrender all to him, he took the drive out of me. He took everything out of me. Everything ceased. And they had to go to counseling up for the dope and everything, and just everything ceased.
With the help of his friend, prayer, and Bible study, he stayed clean and he eventually got a job in construction. He also married Latasha, and they started a family. In Christ, Stanley has found the love he had been searching for his entire life.
I'm thankful for Jesus loving me, man. I'm thankful for he gave me another chance. You know, chances after chances after chances, and I'm still here. But without reading his word, I feel empty. Without praying, I feel lost. Gotta stay in his face. Because as long as I'm in his face, I'm in his arms. So I can't live without him.